You were late again, so you still owe me an hour.
Get in.
Frick!
We're hearing reports of an incident at the ACTION Tower.
What's your emergency?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Greedy, needy, cocky. We're going to shine a light on your crimes. So you will be worthless. Cheers.
Great to have you on board.
Then he attempts to gain access. The whole building explodes.
Someone got inside.
One of the cleaners. Find them.
Okay, Joey, get a grip.
Your brother needs you.
Put it down. See if you can do better than the last 3 assholes you sent.
If I did the cleaner, exile me.
You got this, Joey.
Everyone's got a personal, Joey.
If you touch him, I will end you.
No smoke without fire, right?
He's going to blow the building. I've got what he wants. You get as many people out as you can.
You want to hang this whole operation on a window cleaner who couldn't hack the army?
I was never there for you. This time, I'm not going to let you down. I know you need to concentrate.
Don't stop. Takes my mind off the massive fall and the dickheads with guns.
Thank you. Martin, how you doing?
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm such a fan of yours. Oh my God, like James Bond, Zorro. I'm a fan of all of it. I know I only have you for a few minutes here. We have to talk about Cleaner, but I wanted to just pick your brain for just 1 minute. You directed my favorite Jackie Chan film in The Foreigner. Can you just give me a little bit of your thoughts on? You gave us gritty, down to earth, like badass Jackie Chan because everybody knows him for his like slapstick stuff. So just talk a little bit about that for just 1 minute.
Well, I wouldn't let him do any of the slapstick stuff. I mean, that was the first thing because, you know, first of all, it's a serious role,
Yes.
right? Number one. Secondly, he's ex-military. So his action has to be, in other words, has to have a military signature, if you will. And the important thing is that he didn't, you know, I said to him, we can't do any of the famous Jackie Chan tricks or any of that at all. We've got to kick that out. We've got to, you know, we start off with a sort of hunched old man who runs a Chinese restaurant, and of course, you know, we know what happens with the film by the end of it, right? The guy turns out to be you know, totally lethal, right? And he turns out to be much more than an old man.
That's like I said, like everybody knows him from his other films, but that's my favorite. Like I like the serious Jackie. I like the action in it and like how you guys did it and like the CQB stuff. It was great. I just wanted to tell you that before we got into Cleaner. So
thank you. Yeah.
So let's talk about Cleaner. Oh, such a good film. I can't wait for people to see it. And unfortunately, everybody is going to compare it to Die Hard, you know, because it's like it's in that, you know, trope of
It's
you know
in the DNA. Yeah.
Yeah. So just. It's more than that. So what drew you to this? I mean, such a great cast, Daisy Ridley, Clive Owen, Ty Schuyler, which I also got the chance to talk to. Such a delightful guy. So talk about what drew you into it.
Well, first of all, when I read the script, it was a sort of what I call a page turner. Secondly, we had a female protagonist in Daisy Ridley, who I love. Mm-hmm. And it was, and of course, it's got the basics of Die Hard, big skyscraper, you know, single person, an everyman character in Daisy, if you see what I mean. Rather, I suppose you could say the same for Bruce Willis, even though he's a cop in that movie. But beyond that, it was entirely different. You know, first of all, the bad guys, if that's how you define them, eco warriors, of course, and Also, what's fascinating to me is was the internal conflict with the bad guys, right? There's a generational gap between the Marcus, who's the Clive Owen character, and the Taz Skylar, right? Who and what Clive is doing, I think, is morally absolutely correct. What he's doing is making a grand gesture, putting all of this on the media. It's a corrupt company, right? And has been corrupt for a long time. It's putting environmental disaster in order to, in order to satisfy the shareholders, and of course we have a coup d'état and two entirely different points of view within the bad guys. On top of that, the great thing is, you've got Daisy, the relationship with her autistic brother, right, which I thought was a very, actually the writer has a son who is autistic, so that's where that came from.
Okay.
And obviously her relationship with Noah, the Taz character. So all of that sort of, and it's just a fun movie like that. It was a page turner. It was fun to actually do it. And working with Clive again, I've worked with him before. So yeah, it was a kick.
Now let's talk about Daisy. Now I love her character Joey. Now what I liked about this was like it's like basically 2/3 of the movie she's stuck outside,
Yes.
on the scaffolding. She doesn't get in the building to like the last act, which was kind of cool.
There's the goldfish bowl, right? She does every damn thing she can to get into the building, but of course none of it works.
Yeah. So again, now is this just a coincidence? Like, you get like Maggie Q and the Protege, you just had Dirty Angels with Ava Green come out. Now, like, are you drawn to like the tough female action character, or is it just like it's just a coincidence?
No, I don't think it's deliberate. The Daisy was cast before. You could easily put a man. It's much more interesting to have a woman, right? Much more interesting, and it just is coincidence, really. That it's not really that. I like it. I like strong women, but I also like women that you actually believe that they do what they do. I mean, so often you see women in action films who turn out to, they'll take on 10 black suited, special bad guys, right, and beat the hell out of them. I don't believe a word of it, So my feeling is that certainly in this movie and certainly in Dirty Angels, everything they do is achievable by women. So yes.
So, we can't get too spoiler because the movie hasn't come out yet. But I like like you mentioned it just a little bit, like with the two main villains, like in Clive Owen and Taz Skylar, because there's a switch. There's like a little twist, that happens. Because I wasn't ready for it. Like I saw the trailer and everything, but I was like, oh, and I was like, okay, this is happening. So without spoiling, just kind of give that dynamic of how you switched it up.
Well, the thing is that it's a generational difference. You have Clive Owen, who's a veteran activist, right? He has an absolute way of doing this, and that is to, it's pretty sensational what he's doing. He's taking all these people hostage, right? Mm-hmm. But he's doing it for all the right reasons. You have Taz, who doesn't believe it's enough. He just believes the statement has to be bigger because he thinks that there's no point in blocking motorways and throwing paint on the Mona Lisa, right? Throwing eggs at at various at the doors of energy companies, and so it gains you nothing. It's in the news the following day. It's vanished. It doesn't change anybody's. It doesn't change anybody's mind. He's anti-humanist, which is an organization that, believe it or not, actually exists. And their philosophy is get rid of all human beings and the planet will be saved and it will regenerate and be, right? That's it's also psychotic in a sense, because obviously it can't happen. But Taz, like all these people absolutely believes that's what he's got to do. He's prepared to die himself in order to achieve it, to make the grand statement. Then people's minds would probably be changed. That's his view.
Now, in this point in your career, like because you've done a lot of action now, like with the action scene, because I love like finally when she gets in the building, you got some really tight, crisp, edited like fight scenes between her, and it's realistic. Because like you said, she's taking on one person and another person and stuff like that. Do you get involved, or you just let the second unit and like the stunt guy be like, hey, you guys do it, and I'm just gonna sit here and watch you guys work, or do you get involved in the action sequences to this?
Well, actually, I shot all the fight sequences.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, awesome. Yeah.
But I've done it before.
Oh, big time, yes.
But normally what happens is that you have a very good stunt arranger, which we had. Daisy probably did 3 weeks rehearsal. Every day off she was rehearsing. It is very tough. The thing is that they show me the action. I make adjustments. This is all prior to shooting it. And then with those adjustments, that's what we do. That's what we shoot. And obviously the whole thing is shot in continuity, but it's rehearsal, really. Rehearsal and planning. That's what you've got to do.
Like I wish like if I had more time with you, I'd pick your brain about James Bond and all that stuff. I would, because like I said, I've been with you for a very long time. Just in closing, because I gotta let you go because you're a very busy man. I understand. Just what do you want like people to watch this? Because again, they're gonna put the Die Hard thing on it. What do you want them to get out of this movie? Because it's like with the relationship with her and her brother, like there's so much more to it. What do you want the fans to get out?
I just want them to be entertained. I mean, that's what this movie. And hopefully there's a little bit of a message in there, I just want them to be entertained and have a bit of a ride, as simple as that. I think that's what the film is, right? And hopefully, you see trailers of these movies, and of course they always orientate it towards action. But I think there's much more in the film than just simple action. I think there's some very interesting aspects to it, which is unusual in a movie like this. So hopefully people will enjoy it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And again, like I said, you're one person I never thought I'd get a chance to talk to. So again, I can't say enough how you've entertained me throughout the years. I don't want to make either you or me sound old, but I've been with you for a very long. Like I said, you introduced 2 James Bonds to the world. It's like, so how awesome is that?
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, right. So Martin, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to little old me about Cleaner. And I can't wait for people to, like I said, so much more than Die Hard. And when I write my review, I'm going to totally, because there is that, but there's so much more to it and everything. And I can't wait for people to see it. And I can't wait to see what you do in the future. Keep it up. I mean, you're just as strong as ever, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, John. Really appreciate it, mate.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, mate. Bye.